up on EndZone, we've got Aberdeen and Choctaw County coming up for our game of the week. Then we're going to go head to Tupelo and South Haven. And then we're also headed to Germantown and Starkville for week 7 of EndZone.
WCBI Sports EndZone Show with Carlo Barone and Avery Cameron is brought to you by Carl Hogan Toyota, Fastnet, powered by Ford County, and Clark Beverage Group.
Well, welcome into EndZone week 7. I actually was thinking about it earlier. I can't believe we're already on week 7. Like, I feel like this is just flying by.
It is crazy how fast a football season can go when you have all these exciting matchups and
so much.
great football in the area. So, yeah, I can't believe we're already in week 7. We're really starting to get into district play now, and we'll see when teams really start to heat up and find out who they are.
Yeah, it's starting to get super exciting. I mean, it's always been exciting. Don't get us wrong, but now it's getting extra exciting. Carlo, you were at Noxubee tonight. How was that game?
Well, it's still not over yet, so
we're still going.
We'll figure it out. There's only 3 minutes left. Close one between the Tigers and the Tigers. The battle of the Tigers we have tonight, but we will have highlights from that game and hopefully a score here soon. But yeah, it was a competitive ball game, defensive ball game in the first half, and we'll show you in the highlights how it kind of went down in the first half, and hopefully we'll have a final here for you soon.
Awesome. Yeah, I went to Aberdeen and Choctaw County for our game of the week, and that game was super fun. Not going to spoil it for you, but let's get into it.
The WCBI EndZone Game of the Week, presented by Carl Hogan Toyota.
All right, look at this car of the week. I like to call it the whip of the week. Sweet little Toyota Prius here. Kind of looks like a Tesla from the outside if you look hard enough. Interior super sleek. I mean, it just looked awesome. It got me there. I felt speedy and sporty, and here we go. All right, kicking off homecoming. This was so cool to me. Tents everywhere in the field. Different classes at every tent showing off. We got dancing, we got barbecue, just spirit all over. All right, football time. KJ Cork starts it off for the Chargers, drops back and finds Lily for a 35-yard touchdown for the first one of the night, but they will connect later on. Don't get it wrong.
What a time.
Yeah, it was awesome, and lots of cheering. Speaking of cheerleaders, got to show the girls some love. Loving those pink pom-poms. They were awesome tonight. Chargers again. This time he's going to hand it off. Jeremiah Miller is going to take it in for a 3-yard run, and Choctaw County is going to go up 14-0 super early on. And what's homecoming without some beautiful dresses and some beautiful ladies? Cork again, another dime here. Finds Lily again for this time a 61-yard run touchdown, another 7 on the board, and that's going to be 21 unanswered points for the Chargers, and that's all before halftime. Turning it around after an interception, that's why we're on the opposite side of the field here. Jeremiah Miller again with the 9-yard run for the Chargers, goes up by 28-0. We're going to get 2 looks at that play right there, my bad. And then, of course, the Bulldogs are going to have to look to respond in just a second here. So we're going to hit a dance circle. It's a dance circle. We got our mascot dancing, so he's up there. There we go. All right, Xavier Fort with the first and only touchdown of the night for the Bulldogs. Williams and his team dropped to 4-3 on the season. That total score there, 43, Choctaw County, Aberdeen 8.
Moving up north now, Tupelo hosting South Haven. It's homecoming night for the Golden Wave. South Haven quarterback steps back and going to throw, and that one is going to be incomplete in the back of the end zone late in the second quarter, and that one would be no good. Next drive, Tupelo now hands it off to the running back, and he's going to take this one 40 yards up the sideline. He's going to get barely shoved out of bounds. What a tandem they have there. Next play, Golden Wave going to run it again. You know how they do. They like to run the ball up there, and they like to get in the end zone and score touchdowns as well. Tupelo would roll on homecoming, and they would easily win this one, 43-20 over South Haven. Only one loss on the season for Ty Harden and company.
Moving on to some scores. Saltillo over Olive Branch. The Tigers getting the win there. Pretty close game. Just one score for the Tigers to get that win there. And moving on to Caledonia and Columbus. Caledonia They get their first win of the season, the Cavaliers do, Carlo. That's impressive. Columbus is going to fall to 1-5 on that loss there, down by 20.
What a win for Caledonia.
And moving over to Germantown, hosting Starkville. We know what happened last time these teams played, a major upset. Lawson Branson catches and runs. Mavericks are on their horses, and that's going to be an immediate 7-0 lead there. Starkville is going to look to respond after we cheer on the Mavericks here. They're going to look to respond, but they're stopped by this Germantown defense. I don't think it ended too well for Starkville tonight. But the Yellow Jackets run a fake. Yeah, Coach John Carr is not going to be too happy. Yellow Jackets going to run a fake 4th down play and get inside the 10. Aaron Farrell stops the bee swarm on the 3rd down. And then a 4th down here, and no, sir, not going to get that one. Final score on that one, Starkville 28, Germantown 45. And looking at this score for Grenada and Center Hill, Grenada 42, Center Hill 11. Not too hot for Center Hill tonight.
Grenada is one of those good teams. Speaking of good teams, we've got a great matchup here, New Hope and Lafayette. We will start here in the second or third quarter. John Colt Robertson is going to hand it off to Cameron Pritchard. He's going to rush it in 29-21 as New Hope takes the lead. Now Tyrekus Brooks is going to hand it off to Jeremiah Harkins. He's going to get the big gain down the sideline and tumble out of bounds deep in Commodore territory. Lafayette would get a stop on defense, though, and Cameron Pritchard is going to score another rushing touchdown, and New Hope is going to get the victory over Lafayette, 42-27.
And coming up on EndZone, we've got Louisville and Kosciuszko with a big play there. We've also got Noxubee County and Winona. I think that game it should be done by now. And Amory and Mooreville, some Thursday night action. Look at this long pass from last year. All coming up on EndZone. And coming back into EndZone, starting off with Louisville and Kosciuszko, hosting them there. Second quarter, Whippets down 14-8 on a 4th down here. Caden Wade, the quarterback keeper, left side, stuffed in the backfield. Louisville's turn now. Zayden Jernigan, we know that name, gets the ball. He's got a nice run up the middle here, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Wildcats. Later on, Tristan Edwards back to pass, finds Kentrell Haynes on a nice catch there, out of bounds, but for another 1st down. And more from the Wildcats cheering in the stands and now on the field. 4th down, Jernigan's going to get it again. He's going to be stopped by the Whippets defense for a loss. Turnover on downs, and Louisville would lead 14-8 at the half. The final there would be Kosciuszko 24, Louisville 29. Pontotoc taking the loss to West Point. The Green Wave 50, Pontotoc 13. Tough loss there.
6-0 start again for the Green Wave.
New Albany, massive win here. 5-1 to Ripley's 14. That's a lot to a little right there. Poor guys. Shannon and Houston, another good matchup for the night. Looks like it was a close game. Shannon 14 and Houston gets 1 touchdown on the night at 6 points.
Good road victory for the Red Raiders. And going to Noxubee County now. Battle of the Tigers. Tigers versus Tigers here. First drive of the game for Winona. Landon Crawford going to take the pitch it out to Yoshan Hudson, and Hudson will get into the end zone and score. They score on their first drive. That's not going to make head coach Teddy Young happy. They lead 6-0. After the Noxubee punt now, Winona on 4th down is going to drop the ball and is recovered by the other Tigers, the Noxubee Tigers that would be. Either way, they get the ball back. And what would they do in that possession? They would do exactly what Ladarian Mosley does. He has residency in this end zone at that point. He's going to score there to tie it up at 6-all. They would miss the extra point, so it would stay 6-6. Plenty of family support. Look at the Mosley crowd out tonight supporting their star running back. Winona back on offense. Crawford shovels it to his receiver. He's going to look to throw. Dangerous throw over the middle. And it's intercepted by Jamarius Little. And Little's going to make a big play on defense and take this one back for the other Tigers. You can't really never know what Tigers we're going these days, but the Tigers would get the ball back in there, and Noxubee County's going to run pretty much the same play. Ladarian Mosley, the quarterback on that one, and he's going to throw it up. And the jump ball is caught by Christian Glenn. This one will be tied 6-6 at halftime, but as the final scores just keep rumbling in for the 10, the Winona Tigers would get the better of the Noxubee County Tigers, and they would win this one 31-26 over Noxubee on the road.
And Corinth and North Pontotoc. North Pontotoc, yet again, just one touchdown. Corinth, a big score there with 52. Good for them. Making a lot of points tonight on that North Pontotoc team. And across the road, South Pontotoc also taking the loss. Tishomingo County, though, is going to get that huge win there, 56. These are some high-scoring games. Pontotoc not looking too hot as a city tonight. Boonville 32 to Belmont's 14. That's got Carlo looking a little confused. So what you got to say about that one?
Oh, good victory for the Blue Devils there. Belmont very good this year, so that was quite the victory, especially on the road for the Blue Devils.
All right, moving on. Amory kicking it off. Amory High School, the Panthers hosting Mooreville, picking things up in the beginning of the second here. Troopers up 17-7. A huge first down for the Panthers. J.B. Boykin with a pass to Javen Azell for the first down, and they are just going to move the chains right along. Head coach Jacob Massey is in his first season with Mooreville. After last night, 3-4 on the season. A huge sack there. Massey's defense. Boykin is going to lose a few yards. I think all three of them were on that sack there. All right, given the Troopers lots to cheer for tonight, they had about as many fans out there as Amory did. Amory on offense. Boykin drops back again, and it's the same. Another sack for them. Tough going for Boykin. But I wanted to show that in there because Mooreville helped him up, and I just think that's awesome sportsmanship. Okay, moving on. Amory cheerleaders getting ready. Brooks Dampier and the Panthers hoping to come out strong in the second half. This blocked punt there is going to do huge things for him. Mooreville takes the loss 24, Amory 27.
Moving to some Thursday night action. Philadelphia hosting East Webster. Both teams playing solid defense. Start this one. We'll start early in the first. East Webster quarterback Connor Stidham is going to try to throw the deep ball, but nothing easy for the Wolverines so far as that one falls incomplete. However, East Webster's special teams would carry the load here as they strike first on this punt return touchdown. Kendrick Potts finds lane and also finds the end zone. They lead it now 7-0. Philly's offense now trying to get something going on the ground here. He's going to find a little bit and get enough for the first down, but they would not be able to capitalize. Jumping right before the end of the first half now, Stidham's going to roll out to his left, launch down the sideline towards the end zone, but is intercepted for the touchback. Wolverines unable to get points on the board there. But in the end, East Webster would get the road victory at Philadelphia, and they win this one big. The final, East Webster 29, Philadelphia 6. More Thursday night action. Right there, the Cross Creek Rivalry Trophy. That is, of course, the rivalry between Nanawoya and Knox Bay are 10 miles apart from each other, folks. And this game would have plenty of meaning behind it. In the first quarter here, Nanawoya are going to get on the board as Corbin Sanders scores into the end zone, and Nanawoya jumps out to a 7-0 lead, but more from the Warriors. Cade Massey is going to throw over the middle, and he's going to find Hickman down the sideline, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. Warriors now up 14-0 on the road in this heated rivalry game. James Courtney certainly happy with that start. Knox Pater now looking to respond. Riddle hands to Cameron Pankey, who's going to lose the football, and the quarterback, Cade Massey, is going to pick it up, and he's going to take this one down the sideline. He threw a touchdown, and now he scores his own touchdown on the scoop and score in Knox Pater territory, that is. They go up 21-0. Knox Pater trying to get some more back, and this one would be intercepted. And this would be a pick six. They lead at 27-0 at that point. And Nanawoya takes the Cross Creek Rivalry Trophy back for the first time since 2020, and they win this one 41-16.
All right, coming up on EndZone, we've got Manatee and Alcorn Central, Starkville Academy, and Magnolia Heights. Wow, long ball there. I think that score went pretty well, too. And finally, Gordo and Vinemont. Stick with us. We've got more coming up after the break. All right, back at Manatee versus Alcorn Central. Let's hope Bad Boy Booth's defense could pull it through tonight. Defensive battle. They're going to have a huge first stop against the Mustangs in the first quarter there. Manatatee's head tells his players they got to tighten up. A few plays later, Manatee throws a pass, and it's picked off by Alcorn Central. Alcorn coach, he's fired up after that. Duh, who wouldn't be? Later on the drive, Alcorn Central quarterback pressured down. He throws an interception. Didn't go too well for either team tonight, it looks like. Manatee final score 14, Alcorn Central 20.
Looking at some more scores here, Eupora's great season continues. They get a big win over JZ George. Saw these two teams actually practice against each other when I was filming their high school football tour thing. And now just a few months later, they get the 32-point victory over JZ George. Great start for the Eagles to this season. We'll move on to Hamilton and Vardaman, two of the smaller schools here, but big score in this one. Like I always say every week, if you took the over, if there were betting lines in Mississippi, if that was legal, then you might as well want to take the over on a lot of these games because 35-21, we got a clean touchdown game, no field goals. Kickers are overrated anyway, right?
No,
Final.
kickers are athletes too.
Yeah, no, they are. But sometimes in 1A football, 2A football, it's a little bit difficult. But it doesn't matter because it wasn't very difficult for Hamilton as they get the 14-point victory. And then we'll head to some Thursday night action here, Smithville and Byers. Smithville, the Seminoles coming up just short on the road to Byers as they drop that one by 4. Byers wins this one and drops Smithville once again, 32-28, the final. TCPS, more Thursday night scores now. And TCPS gets the road victory down south as Trent Hammond gets another one in the win column. He's won at pretty much almost every level now. Old coach at Tupelo Golden Wave. And now he's doing it with the Christian preparatory school in the town. And they get the 14-point victory. Another game, just clean touchdowns. I believe that was his exact same score. So I guess playing copycat, but they win that one by 14 on the road. More scores now. Okolona at North Point Christian. Remember last week, Okolona gave Hatley their very first loss. Well, they take a punch right back to the mouth as they lose this one by 22, doubling their score, plus a deuce. North Point Christian getting the victory over Okolona. 22-point win, 42-20, the final. In a game that featured two teams with only one loss each between Baldwin and Water Valley. Baldwin, the defending state champions. Water Valley having a great start to their season. Not so great tonight as Baldwin, the Bearcats. Man, let me tell you, folks, they got a new coach this year. A lot of their senior players left after they won the state championship, and they just continue to win. Doesn't matter who they got playing or coaching. They get a huge victory over Water Valley, and that team is good as well. 43-12, the final. Talking about another really good victory and a lot of blowout victory here. Luke Conley and his Myrtle team is going to get a 48-0 win over Strayhorn. Not Strayhorn's night there, but Luke Conley's night. And East Rankin Academy beating French Camp Academy in the battle of academy schools from the north and the south. Well, the ones in the south, Jackson School, would be the one getting the victory tonight as they win that one 46-21. Excuse me, I believe that game was actually on Thursday. Either way, same outcome. But we will head to Starkville Academy and Magnolia Heights. Volunteers hosting Magnolia Heights. Early on, no score. Jack Price gets the handoff, and he picks up a nice run, and the coach is going to be happy with that one. Later on, Colton Robbins finds Caden Prestige in the end zone for the touchdown. He walks in. The PAT would be good. So now the Volunteers back on offense. Lawson Mullins going to get the toss pitch down the left side. He's going to take this one all the way into the 30-yard line of the opposing territory. Signals first down. They're moving the chains. Student section fired up over there after that 45-yard run. Later on, Jack Northcutt finds Jackson Knight across the middle. He's going to break off more than a few tacklers. He's going to break off into the end zone and kind of flex on the folks. As Starkville Academy, though, they would lose this one. Magnolia Heights wins it 42-14.
Looking at some scores, Pillow Academy and Heritage Academy, another academy battle, sounds like. 28-7, Pillow Academy is going to take the loss there. I said something last week about sleeping tight on his pillow after his loss, so maybe I'll do it again. Turn it around. All right, next, Oak Hill Academy and Leak Academy. Look at that. That's kind of satisfying. 1-4-4-1. Anyways, 14-41. Leak Academy is going to take the win there. And Winona Christian and Kirk Academy, I believe that's the Stars over at Winona Christian. Ashley Kuhn's going to get that victory there. 26-14.
Stars showing tonight.
They're shining. And Victory Christian, nope, Aliceville and Vincent. We don't have that there either. If you know that, call us. We'll put it in. All right, let's head over to Gordo and Vinemont, a 3A Region 5 battle for first place. Pick up in the second half. Gordo is going to lead, give the ball to Gabriel Herrera, and he takes it to give Vinemont the lead right there early on. Gordo is going to come back on offense. Check this out. This is one of the most impressive plays you'll see all year, apparently. Birthday boy Ryder Robertson fights through multiple defenders, and you may think he's down, but he's not. He fights through, and he's gone 63 yards to cap off a 3-play, 75-yard drive. Gordo takes the lead with 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter there. The Eagles are going to look to respond after a 3-minute drive. They hand it off to big boy Dalton Bryan to give him the show, 25 yards to go. Vinemont a 22-19 lead. Gordo would have one more chance, but a crucial holding penalty is going to actually take that one back for him. Macon Robertson is sacked, and Preston Hanners on the Eagles hold. Final there, Vinemont 22, Gordo 19. The Eagles take first place in a 3A Region 5 with 2 region games to go.
And looking at Lamar County and Tuscaloosa Academy, a powerhouse going to Lamar County tonight. Tuscaloosa Academy's defense going to start us off here. They stopped Lamar County on 3rd down, and they are now forced to deal with a 4th down here. Now Hunter Gallup is going to throw to Connor Beard over the middle in the back of the end zone for the long gain on 3rd down. Next, Lamar County running back Caden Guyton is going to score from just a few yards out. Lamar County jumps to a 7-0 lead over Tuscaloosa Academy, but Tuscaloosa Academy would have the last laugh in this one as they win this one on the road and continue their very good season as they win this one 42-20.
We got a lot going on tonight. Lots of scores, lots of big games, lots of big plays. What have you seen so far? Well,
I am quite honestly shocked that Boonville was able to beat Belmont, and what a victory that would be. But we got to toss to our Fastnet speed play of the night. Yeah, I feel like we got to really just who we got to give it to somebody here.
Nanawoya.
Got to give it to Cade Massey and Nanawoya, getting the trophy back for the first time in 5 years, and he had a great game.
And I'm just gonna say he had a great game. Player of the week potential there.
Definitely up there. I would say Nanawoya's victory over Knox Bader.
The Fastnet Speed Play, brought to you by Fastnet, powered by 4 County. Fast, affordable internet service from the people you know. WCBI Sports EndZone Show with Carlo Barone and Avery Cameron is brought to you by Carl Hogan Toyota, Fastnet, powered by 4 County, and Clark Beverage Group.